When you're working topology in Blender, you want to try and avoid having something called endpoles. Endpoles are vertices which have more than 4 edges connecting into them, okay? Endpoles can cause you all sorts of problems and deformations and stuff like that, so you have to keep in mind that you want to avoid having these kind of things. Here's an example of an object where we have some endpoles, and this is from a tutorial that I made the other day, and they told me in the comments, Aryan, you fucked up. The topology is good, but you have endpoles, so how do you do this without endpoles? What I'm talking about is this vertex over here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 edges connecting into this vertex, and as you can see, that causes all sorts of triangles and stuff like that, which when combined with a subdivision surface modifier gives us this little shitty effect. We want to try and do this with quads without any endpoles. So I'm going to show you an alternative method to do this. The one thing you have to understand here is an inherent issue with UV spheres. This is what we got to go over first before I show you a better way to do this. When you add a UV sphere, it has a ridiculous endpole up here at the top, alright? As you can see up here, we have a vertex which has probably 32 vertices connecting into it, and I'm just going to reduce this a little bit to show you why this is an issue. When you have an object like this, we have an endpole here, alright? If you add a subdivision surface modifier, you can clearly see that this is not really very smooth. If you go object shade smooth, maybe if you use a different matte cap, you can see this a little bit better. You can see all sorts of deformations. It doesn't look the way that you would want this to look, okay? So instead, there's another way that you can create spheres inside of Blender, and it's really quick, and you have to always remember this. We can maybe even save this as a primitive using an add-on or something like that. Shift A, you add a cube, and with Control 2 or Control 3, you add 2 or 3 levels of subdivision surface. You can add 4, 5, 6 if you want to. You're going to apply that, add modifier, deform, cast, set that to 1, and press Control A to apply it. Now you got a perfect sphere, which consists of quads only. I know that was very quick, but just watch that one more time. If you want to catch it, you got to be able to do this shit quickly, okay? And now you have a cube, which is going to allow you to create these kind of things, or you got a sphere, which is going to allow you to create these kind of things without having endpoles, like we had over here. So in a situation like this, a very easy way to do something like this, like what we were making in the other tutorial the other day, you can add a cube. Let's only add 1 level of subdivision surface just for the sake of simplicity. Deform, cast, factor 1, apply. You're going to create something like this, Control plus, Control plus. You're going to delete 1/2 of it, and then you're going to delete the other half, so now you're left with just a little quarter, okay? So if we want to make these little dents over here on this blade like this, what we would do is something a little bit closer to what I'm showing you right now. You would place these little spheres like this and like this and like this. I'm not trying to do it very precisely because I'm just trying to speed run this for the tutorial, so you don't have to sit here 30 minutes watching me talk shit about endpoles. But you would place them around like this, and then of course you would have to figure out a way to connect them. But once you would do that, you would extrude these little pieces out like this, out into the side like this, and then you would be able to lower them down, and after that you would be able to complete this model the same way that we did in the tutorial the other day. So I'm not going to do this all over again. I'm not going to walk you through the same shit that we just talked about in the tutorial the other day. But now the rest of this consists of cleaning up the topology here, filling everything in with clean geometry, adding some mean creases, then applying the subdivision surface modifier so you can get a straight edge over here, and then applying some more bevels and stuff like that to clean everything up and finally get a good result, much better than the one that we have over here. But this is how you can avoid using endpoles, using quads only, okay? So keep in mind, you gotta subdivide a fucking cube instead of using this default UV sphere, because it's got endpoles. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I'll see you in the next one.